Hey guys, my name is Evan and welcome to Country View Acres. So today I've got out the Hesston PT-10. We bought this last year. It had been sitting in a barn for at least 15 years, maybe 20 years, sitting in the dirt. And this is a hay mower. It's a mower conditioner. And there's a few repairs that we need to do to it before we cut hay with it. And we've got a few days. We've got probably 4 or 5 nice days in a row coming up. So I'd like to be able to cut our hay fields with this if I can instead of the sickle bar. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to try to see if we can get this fixed up good enough to cut hay. So what I just got done cutting off the bottom of the hay mower was the old skid shoes. Now the skid shoes are like skis or like sleds, and they just sled across the ground and they determine how high up you're cutting. It's your cut height adjustment really. And this is all that was left of the skid shoes. So you can see there was a pin that pinned them onto the front, and this is almost like a hinge. And in the back it would have bolted on and you could change the height of the ski. And this is all that was left. This has been sitting in the dirt in the barn for years, so I don't know if that's when it rusted off or if they just wore them out or what. But this is what it should have looked like. Look how big this is. This is what was missing. This is the skid shoe. Now I have a guy I work with. He has the same type of mower conditioner. His is a little bit newer. He was having new skid shoes made at a machine shop, and he asked me if I wanted some made too, and I'm like, yeah, I go ahead and have me 2 of them made up. So his is a little bit different. It doesn't have the hinge on the front like the hinge pin. His has some slots, and then there's a clip that bolts on and just basically clips each one of these slots on, and then the back is pretty much the same. It just bolts on to the back. So I got brand new skid shoes to put on to the mower. The only thing I got to do is I got to drill out holes and make clips to attach the front. The back of it should bolt up just the same. So that's what we're going to start out. I'm probably going to see if I can bolt these in the back first and then figure out how I'm going to drill the holes. And I got to put the holes in the cutter bar for these new clips that we got to make. So here's the bracket that I got off the bottom of the mower, and this holds up the back of the skid shoe. Now only one bolt's going to fit in here. The other hole doesn't line up. So this is somewhat your height adjustment depending on how you bolt that up. So I'm just going to put a bolt in here, and if we have to tweak it, we can always lower it a little bit. I got the skid shoe underneath. Now I just got to drill holes for these clips to hold up the front. So it looks like I've got to drill a hole right there for that one. And for this one, I've got to drill a hole right here. All right, I've got my hole drilled in the cutter bar, and now I've got to make something that bolts here and to clip into there. I'm just going to make a few measurements, see if we can make something. So I've got some 1-inch flat stock, 1/4 inch thick, got it hanging over 1 inch. We're going to try to bend this down. All right, now I got it sticking out with a 3/4 inch gap. There we go. Got the first 2 clips made up. Now we can go ahead and try to mount the first skid shoe. This was a lot tighter. Yeah, it made it. All right, I've got both skid shoes installed here on the hay bind. And now I think I'm ready to move to sheet metal. So inside the hay bind is the rollers, and on the side there's a deflector here that's supposed to funnel the grass to the middle. And this funnel is not long enough. This deflector isn't long enough. And then the other side, it doesn't even have one. So we gotta try to make something. So I don't have any sheet metal to be able to bend that up and make a new deflector for the hay bind. But what I do have is I do have some leftover roofing. This is some standing seam roofing from our house. And I'm gonna make a temporary one. This ain't gonna be the permanent fix, but we're gonna go ahead and cut some of this out, see if we can bend it up, bolt it in the machine, and at least make a temporary deflector so we can cut some hay. Oh man, I got about almost 15.5 inches there, so that's a pretty good amount to work with. Go ahead and I'm gonna cut the seams off of it, see if I can just get some of this flat stuff. So now that we got our rough shape cut out, I'm gonna go ahead and try to cut this nice and neat, and then we'll start bending it. I'm just gonna hand bend it. Actually, probably just gonna bend to 45, somewhere close to that. That's supposed to fit right about there. Hopefully that will funnel the grass to the middle. Now I just got to bolt it in there. There we go. All right, we got a square hole down here made for a carriage bolt. And I believe that's what the old deflector would have attached to. I got my deflector in here now. So I've got a carriage bolt down here. I've got a self-tapping screw here and a self-tapping screw there. And I think that's held in fairly well. I think that's gonna work. So here's another look at the deflector we just made. So the hay's gonna come through these rollers. It's gonna hit this deflector and it should push it off to the inside so it doesn't hit the wheels. So right here is my next problem. I've got all these gears exposed. You're gonna have tall grass going right beside here, and I don't want grass getting wrapped up in these gears. So there should be a cover that would have bolted here and came around and covered all this up. I don't have enough sheet metal to make a huge cover like that, but I think I can make a small one that goes across the bottom and will at least keep the grass out of the gears. Well, this piece is about the right size to cover that up. We'll see what we can do. So I don't have a bending brake, or a brake that you would bend sheet metal with. They're really expensive. I've thought about making one. But right now we're just gonna make a makeshift bending brake. I'm just gonna bend it over this angle iron. Just gonna hand bend it like I did a minute ago. Oh, it's a lot stiffer. Next bend. Well, I think that's gonna work. Well, I think the mower is good enough now. We can at least cut some hay with it. So we've got our cover here on the side. I'm gonna wish that I bent the metal the opposite direction so that the brown was facing out, because that really sticks out with that bright white on the side. And the brown would have matched the rust a lot better. I think it would have blended in. And we've got our deflector back there. That's gonna help keep the grass from piling up on the tire. That's what it did last time we tried to run it. And that's gonna help funnel that to the middle to make a little bit more of a windrow. And the skid shoes, that should be a permanent fix. Hopefully I don't have to do anything else. Hopefully the hooks that we made, those little brackets we made to hold the front, hopefully those work fine. And hopefully that's it. Hopefully we got the right height set and everything works out for that. But I'm gonna go ahead and hook the tractor back up. And I've already greased everything, so everything's ready to go. I just need to get the tractor hooked back up to it. We're gonna go test it out. We're gonna try it out on the little pasture area that we were fencing in for the steers. That's all going to seed and it's going to start dying off. So I need to go ahead and just mow that down. And that'll be a good place to test it out, see if it works. So let's get it hooked up. 4 inches. 4-inch cut height, that ain't bad. Well, we got most of the grass mowed down and I think the mower did fine. Everything seemed to feed through okay. The cover we made over here did its job. We don't have any hay really mixed in the gears or anything. And then the deflector, I think the deflector worked fine too. There's no hay piled up on the tire, so I think it did exactly what it was supposed to do. So it's a little bit weird pulling this thing and trying to figure out where it mows in relationship to the tractor. A little bit weird to get used to, but I was getting it down. I think this was a good test run. And the way it cut, I'm pretty happy. I think it seemed to cut everything just fine. You won't really know unless you raked all this to see if there was a place that it was missing. But right now it looks like it seemed to do pretty good. It's been a long day trying to get this mower working. I think I started like 8 o'clock this morning and it is past 6 o'clock tonight. I was really wanting to be able to cut hay today. It just turned out to be a beautiful day, but I guess we'll cut tomorrow morning and we'll probably cut both hay fields somewhere. We'll have to wait for the dew to dry out, but we'll cut tomorrow and hopefully it can last the whole time. Nothing breaks down. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, it's been a long day trying to work on this. And I don't feel like I filmed a lot. It was just like I was kind of in a rush to try to get this working so that we can cut our hay. I really did not want to use the sickle bar mower again. And hopefully we won't have to. But yeah, so probably didn't film everything real good today. Didn't get a lot of unique shots probably of working on this. And it was really difficult, especially with those shoes, to be able to work underneath there. And yeah, so it was a long day. Glad it's working. And hopefully tomorrow will go well cutting hay for the first time. This was just a test run out here. And we're gonna truly cut hay tomorrow. But I think that's going to be it for today's video. We will come back some other time and we will fix these covers and everything with some higher gauge metal and really try to fix it up a little bit better. But so far, I think what we got is going to work. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.